Hello, everyone. I'm Renee Sheldall, the assistant principal at Gila Ridge High School and the activities person who oversees graduation. Congratulations, you've almost made it. And I'm happy to say that we are in the final stages of going through what your graduation program is going to look like. And I just want to make sure that you're aware of a few things before we get there. I'm going to present my screen to you, so bear with me. If you have questions, I will be coming into your classrooms to answer any questions. Please make sure to mark those down, and I'll answer them the best I can when I see you. So we're going through our Gila Ridge High School 2021 graduation planning. Your class of 2021 chose the motto, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step." And here's your program. So making sure that we're ready for our graduation. Remember that May 14th, it's a Friday. You need to have done these things already. So first and foremost, your cap and gown should have been ordered. If it is not ordered, please make sure that you do so now. The Balfour number is there, or you can get on the website and order your cap and gown at the address listed. You need to have passed your civics test. Any Edgenuity or ELP credits need to have been completed by May 6th, 3 p.m. And you also need to be passing your current semester classes as well. Make sure you check with your teachers as far as your grades and your attendance are concerned. The last three bullets here are the bookstore, athletic office, and library. You will complete a checkout process. Within this checkout process, you will need to make sure that you go to each one of these offices. The bookstore, you will pay any fees. If you have not turned in your choir uniform or something of that nature, it will be charged to your account at this time. The athletic office, the same way. If you have not returned any items to the athletic office, it would be charged at this time and you will pay it in the bookstore. And then, of course, the library, you will also make sure to return your books and pay any fees there. All of these need to be completed in order to check out, and you will turn in your checkout form to the activities office. Next, graduates, you should remember that you have to attend mandatory graduation practice on May 21st. You need to be there at 7:45. We will be outside on the field by about 8:30, okay? Try to make it early because it's going to be warm. Make sure that you are dressed appropriately for graduation. We still want to make sure that we're dressed appropriately and have dress code appropriate clothing on. It should be semi-formal. And that your shoes are appropriate for walking downstairs, up and downstairs, and walking on the grass. Please make sure that you represent yourself, your family, your school appropriately by behaving appropriately. You do not want to get pulled from your graduation ceremony and not be able to, at this late date, not be able to walk. So please make sure that you're behaved appropriately. We're going to talk about photographs and live streaming later, a little bit later in the presentation. Please remember that participation in the graduation ceremony is voluntary and the ceremony is a privilege, not a right. With everything that's gone on with COVID, we want to make sure and provide the best thing for you, the best graduation, in-person graduation for you. And please make sure to just behave respectfully so that others can take part in this ceremony equally. Guests, you will have 2 guests allowed per graduate. Tickets will be distributed at graduation practice. You will also receive a COVID-19 waiver. And then just know that your guest will need to make sure that they bring their ID and their waiver and their ticket in order to gain entry into the stadium. PPE is required, and there will be sanitation stations available throughout. Only guests with a ticket, ID, and a waiver will be allowed in the stadium. The guest check-in procedure, there are 2 entrances, a north entrance, which is the players gate. You guys know it as a players gate, and then the south, which is the main entrance. And it will be based on the graduate's last name. So A through L will be in the main entrance, and the M through Z will be in the players gate entrance. You'll see here in just a few moments. The gates will close at 7:45 so that way the graduates can cross and be ready to go into the stadium. The way the entrance will flow, so just know that the yellow is A through L entrance and M through Z is orange. I've got a few things I'm going to point out on this photo. First of all, we're going to come in, if you are A through L, you're going to come in on the left side of the field and you're going to come up. There will be student council workers, helpers to help seat you in these areas. The red marks the hand sanitizer stations. And then of course A through L will sit on this side here. To the other side, we will have the orange arrows that will guide the M through Z people, and then of course they will have 5 through 900 rows that they will be able to sit in. The reason we have them seated in that way is obviously as the graduates, you'll come in this way and around, and then down the middle, and the same thing with A through L. You'll come through here, the players gate, come around, all the way around, and through the middle, okay? The blue stars here indicate grad images, and those will be the different photo stations, photo opportunities that you'll have. And then of course the red marks where the live streaming camera will be. So you'll be coming up the middle here and filing into your row, and the camera will pick that up, and then it'll be flipped around so that we can see the graduation stage and watch you walk across the stage. There will be an exit procedure. Know that there's 3 different exits that will be open, but we are to maintain our social distancing and make sure that there isn't a designated picture area because we have crowd safety concerns. Okay, so take pictures at home. Take the opportunity to take pictures with each one of your family members in your cap and gown. And again, families are encouraged to designate a meeting area after the ceremony so that you're not trying to find each other on the field. It's really difficult with everybody that'll be down there. Mass of humanity, and then to help maintain social distancing, it's just best that we find a designated place, okay? Just to keep in mind, we will not be having the band or choir play. They will be playing a recording, and it will be our band playing, and it will be our choir singing, but we will not have these people on the field or in the stadium. Again, there's no photo area available due to crowd safety concerns. In the past, we've had water for sale. We will not have water concessions at all there, and there is no staff section, only the honor guard, okay? And again, all of this is to make sure that we are providing the safest ceremony for you. Okay, we are going to look at parking here. Parking, we're going to have student parking, student and staff parking in the back, and then parent parking in the front. So we have here marked in red. This would be the area behind the gym. And then of course there's the area behind the concession area that's not pictured here. And then we have the area behind the band room, behind the band area. And then of course over here by the baseball field, those areas will be open for student and staff parking. Your parents are to park in the front area in the yellow, okay? We have designated handicapped area, and you will have a place to designate that on your survey that you need to make sure that you complete at the end of this presentation. Important dates for you to remember are that you should have already ordered your cap and gown, and if you haven't, it's really imperative that you do so now. Edgenuity and ELP credits are due on the 6th. Make sure those are completed. On the 11th is Senior Awards Night. Make sure that any college recipients have already contacted Mrs. Rebeck. May 14th, all fees, items returned to the athletics bookstore and the library. You will have a checkout sheet that you will need to complete. On May 17th, you'll need to make sure that you're passing your current semester classes and that you check with your teachers on grades and attendance. And thereafter, your netbook will be returned, okay? Last but not least, again, we have mandatory graduation practice. 7:45 is when you need to be there. We'll be there from approximately 7:45 to about 11:30. It depends on how quickly we can get through, okay? Some things that you need to keep in mind are that there will be, or you should have received already, a survey for your honor guard. Make sure that you complete that so that you can make sure that your teachers that you want to have there with you on that night are there. They are always honored to be a part of your graduation, and it's really important that you make sure and invite them to be there. The last but not least, I'm going to be sending out a survey that you need to make sure and complete. it will ask you who your 2 guests are that you will be bringing to graduation. Obviously, I would imagine that your parents would want you to be choosing them, but it is up to you who your choice are. You do only get 2, regardless of how many family members are there. That is why we do have live streaming available, so that families can still be a part of your graduation night. And just make sure that you are finishing strong. We want to make sure that you have a successful graduation, and that is going to start off with you making sure that you've got everything in line to graduate, so that your first steps are good, solid steps into your future. We want to hear from you in the future, okay? And again, I'll be coming to visit you. If you have any questions, make sure that you've marked those down. I will be in the next few days to visit you and answer your questions. Thank you. It's an honor to be able to show, to present this to you and to be a part of your graduation. I look forward to seeing each of you at your mandatory graduation practice. Bye-bye.